So this is the second video on materials in daily life. So in this video we are going to talk about glass. Now it's quite important exam. You have been asked many questions, especially what are the raw materials to make specific kind of glass. So let's talk in detail. So the most important raw material that we require to make any glass is silica. Silica, or we write it as SiO2, that is silicon dioxide. Now if we heat silica to a temperature of 1600 degrees Celsius, in that case we get a glass, and that is called quartz glass. Quartz glass, or it is simply also called silica glass. Silica glass, because it's made from silica. Now see, from the exam viewpoint we have to know two things: feature and use. So regarding its feature, now this glass is very tough, and this is water insoluble. This is water insoluble. I'll just write F to denote feature. And next thing, let's talk about the use of this glass. Where is this glass used? So for use, it is used to make gems. Sorry, just the camera flipped out. So it is used to make gems, that is, it's a colored quartz. And next use, I'll say it's used for making lab apparatus. Now lab apparatus are the apparatus, or these are the vessels like that are used in lab, like a beaker, like those kind. Now from this point I would like to divide this into two cases. So see, if we see silica, it's heated to 1600 degrees Celsius. That means a huge very high temperature. You need more fuel, so this glass is going to be expensive. But it's a pure crystalline glass. But in this second case, we'll add some impurities so that its temperature will decrease, and we can make glass at lower temperature. So we will add sodium. Sorry, I'll write over here potassium carbonate, or you can add we'll add sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. I'm sorry for the mistake. So sodium carbonate or potassium carbonate. Now this impurities decrease the temperature. Now we don't have to decrease the temperature so we'll decrease the temperature to 800 degrees Celsius in both cases. So why sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate added? It is added so that we can decrease the temperature, and this makes the glass less expensive, or it makes the glass cheaper. So the glass that we obtain by heating silica and sodium carbonate, so we call this glass water glass. This is water glass, and the same thing over here. So this is also water glass. Now what is water glass? The glass that is made by heating silica with sodium carbonate at 800 degrees Celsius, you can say like that. And next thing, what are the chief raw materials for making water glass? That is silica, and definitely that's a potassium carbonate or sodium carbonate. Now let's talk about the feature of this glass. Now one feature we are very clear. Now this glass is water soluble. This glass dissolves in water, so we call this glass water glass. So feature is water soluble. Water soluble. Now what are the use of this glass? So the glass are used for making fireproof material. Fireproof materials. And the next use, it is used for making silica garden, or we also call it chemical garden. Now so this is it. Now let me talk about even more further cases. Now you may wonder why I made two cases over here, both are the same. This is also water class, it is also water class. Now further it will depend on sodium or potassium. Okay, now these two raw material will increase the raw material on them and we make different kind of glass. So let's talk further. Now to the raw materials of water glass, we'll add calcium carbonate. Now why is calcium carbonate added? See, the problem we have with this glass, it's a water soluble. Okay, now the ordinary kind of glass we see in our home, they are not water soluble, they are water insoluble. Now to make this glass water insoluble, we must add calcium carbonate. So we add calcium carbonate on the both side. Okay, so now this is going to make glass water insoluble. Now we will get two different kind of glass. Okay, on this side we'll get a glass called soft glass or soda lime glass, or it is also known as ordinary glass. Now on the other hand, where we have potassium carbonate, if we have calcium carbonate, we get a glass called hard glass, or it is also called potash lime glass. Okay, now we have a certain question, why this glass is called soft glass? Why? Because it melts at low temperature. Similarly, now why it is called hard glass? Now you can make a sense. Soft, if it means it melts at low temperature, so hard glass, it does not melt at low temperature. Similarly, this glass is also called soda lime glass. Now why it's called soda lime glass? If we see there is a soda, the word soda comes from the sodium and the word lime comes from here. This is the limestone, we know that. So this glass is made by heating sodium carbonate and calcium carbonate with silica. So we call this glass soda lime glass. Now similarly, on the other hand, on this side, the hard glass, it is also known as potash lime glass. Now we have already guessed in your mind. So this glass is made by heating potassium carbonate, so the word potassium is over there, and limestone, calcium carbonate with silica, so it is called potash lime glass. Okay, so let's talk about feature and use. So if you talk about its feature, it doesn't melt at low temperature, and its use, it is used to make simple bottles and lab apparatus. Similarly, the hard glass, we know it doesn't melt at low temperature, and its use, it is used for making test tube, hard glass test tube. Okay, now further, from the soft glass or the ordinary glass, okay, now if we add lead monoxide, okay, in this case, if we add to the mixture of ordinary glass, if we add lead monoxide, so we'll get a glass that is called lead silicate glass. And because of adding lead monoxide, okay, what this will do, this will increase the refractive index of the glass. Okay, so refractive index will increase. Now increasing refractive index means that we have good quality of optical lens. Okay, so good quality, so this will be good for optical purpose. So what is about feature? So feature, we can say that, so it has more refractive indexes, refractive index are higher, so that is a feature. And if we talk about use, so it will definitely be used to make optical instrument. Okay, it will be used to make optical instruments. Okay, optical instruments like lens, prism. Okay, so it can be used in binocular like that. So this can be done from the lead silicate glass. Okay, now similarly, if we add boric oxide, so we get a glass called borosilicate. Because now you have to consider over there. See, it's simple. From the ordinary glass, when you add lead monoxide, you get lead silicate glass. When you add boric oxide, you get borosilicate. So the word silicate is over there. So this will help us to get these things in mind. So over there we have lead silicate glass, and over we have borosilicate glass. Now borosilicate glass, it has a next name. It is also called Pyrex glass. Okay, lead borosilicate, or you can say it's a Pyrex glass. Okay, so we have two cases, two names for this. This is done. Now next question you are asking exam, why is boric oxide added to the ordinary glass before heated? So boric oxide, what does boric oxide do? Now boric oxide, it helps to, because of boric oxide, it minimizes, okay, it minimizes effect of change in temperature. Okay, so this means a glass, we have such a glass, if we change the temperature, even if we change the temperature of glass from hot to from high to low, now low to high, the glass can have a problem, it can crack like, but because we're adding boric oxide, so this makes glass more like a heat resistance kind, or the effect of change in temperature is less. So this can, you can say it's an effect, it's a feature. And what are the use of borosilicate glass? So definitely, if you talk about use, so this is used to make lab apparatus. Okay, so this is used to make lab apparatus, and the most of the lab apparatus I find in lab, there's written borosil, and this is my guess, I guess it means to say borosilicate. It may be wrong. Okay, the last kind from this we have next class, that is colored glass. Now in the case to get a colored glass, we should add metallic oxide to the ingredient of ordinary glass, so we can get color glass. And there are around 7 color glass in our book, so I have made a mnemonics, so I'll make a separate video for that. So if we add lead oxide in the ingredients of hard glass, so we'll get a glass called lead silicate. Okay, so I'm sorry, that's not silicate, that's a lead crystal glass. So we'll get a lead crystal glass, or it is also called flute glass. So if you compare, if you see over here on the sodium side, there's similar ingredient, so there's a lead monoxide. When we add lead monoxide, we get lead silicate glass. Okay, and there is a borosilicate, the word silicate comes on the sodium side, so adding lead silicate increases refractive index. Similarly, when we add lead monoxide, it will also increase the refractive index. And so, since its refractive index is higher, so this can be used to make prism, to make optical instrument like prism, lens. Okay, so like this. I hope this video will help you get the concept in class, and I'm pretty sure if you study in this way, it will really, you'll able to memorize all the classes. Okay, so best of luck for that.